Hey, how's it? 5 p.m. West Coast time on Sunday. It is time for Chatter with Statter. Let's get the party started. I just love those green eyes of that black cat at the end of the intro. Excellent. Like I said, 5 p.m. West Coast time, Sunday and Wednesday is when we've got Chatter with Statter. It must be 2 p.m. No, 3 p.m. on the Hawaiian time. 8 p.m. over there on the East Coast. Like I said, 5 p.m. here. Looks like Rick is in the house, which surprises me because from what I was told earlier today, Rick and Darlene aren't going to be here. They've got other things to do, what with their home team, the Green Bay Packers, taking on the local rivals, Minnesota Vikings, at home field territory. That's right, that Green Bay is going to be home field advantage, winning team advantage. They've got all sorts of the advantages, and Rick doesn't want to miss that game, but half hour till starting time, so I guess Rick and Darlene might be able to show face for just tiny little bit, which is phenomenal, because I've got a topic, actually, Rick, that you and Darlene just might have some opinions on. Elaine, good to see you. I'm going to be talking about you as well. And you might have some opinions about what I'm going to be talking about in just a little bit. Kenny from the Cove, how's it? Good to see you. We missed you last night, but everybody enjoyed the movie that you donated. I read a snippet of your New Year's wishes for the Gangi, and we definitely will be showing Dazed and Confused in the future at some point. Who knows? Maybe I'll show it in May during a last day of school theme situation. Anyway, Kenny, thank you so much for donating to Statterbox at the cinema. Everyone in the cinema sphere was enjoying that movie last night. Shock in the house, but has no football opinion. I don't have football opinions either, Shock. The only reason why I know what I know is because I went and looked it all up right before I got online. Because I do enjoy looking at the standings, and when Darlene mentioned that it was going to be a local rivalry, and I know enough to know about the football season that this is either playoff territory or on the verge of playoff territory. So these games like matter and stuff. So see, yeah, this is where I'm going into realms that I'm maybe not so knowledgeable of. But anyway, looked up the standings and went and realized that Green Bay most likely is the super winner just based on numbers. But I also know that at least with Seattle Seahawks, if it's obvious that the Seahawks are going to, okay, that's not true for the season, but in the past, if it's obvious that the Seahawks are going to win against a really crummy team, yeah, that's when they lose. So you can't take for granted who is going to win and who is going to lose. It ain't over till it's over, and don't come onto the field with a losing attitude. Otherwise, that will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, and most importantly, don't go onto the field thinking that you got this one wrapped up before the game is even over. So, yeah. So I don't want to make any assumptions about Green Bay. I mean, the numbers indicate that they're looking pretty good this season, but I'm not saying that they're going to take it. The Vikings might do something crazy. I mean, apparently earlier today, talk about crazy. So the Buccaneers from Florida were playing against, I don't know, someone, and the someone was beating them. I mean, beating them bad. And so one of the dudes from the Buccaneers was like, yeah, I'm done. And it was like third quarter, right? So he's done. And when I say he's done, I mean, he was done. He took off his jersey, he took off some of his pads, he gave his equipment to the fans, and he left the field. He was done. And that was weird. The coach says that, yeah, that's right, he is done. He's no longer part of the team. But the Buccaneers, they were losing big time. Dude quits in the middle of the game, and then they come back and they end up winning. So it ain't over till it's over. That's all I know. That is all I know. All right, so while I'm babbling about things I don't know about, like football, Pacola T came in the house, and I'd like to say hello to her. And it looks like Miles Medium 7 Up is hanging out here as well. Andre in the house. And Excelente, I am going to, I think that's all we've got at the moment. And as per the usual, I forgot to turn on the music. So, there we go. Hopefully the music levels are acceptable. I think I might need to turn the music down a little bit. So let me know what's going on with the music. And then, of course, our usual tech check. I am curious. Hey there, Broken Soul. Good to see you. Pacola T, pro football has no room for whiners. I don't know what this dude, I don't know what this dude was up to or doing or why he was just like, yep, I'm done. I'm sure there was a background story. I just saw the headlines and was like, wait, he stripped on the field, gave a peace sign, and then walked off? Okay, wait, I gotta read a little bit more about that. So yeah, apparently third quarter, he decided he was done. And well, as it turns out, he's done. oh yeah, he's done. He is done.
Or down, or right or left. It's black.
Okay, so, yeah, Kenny from the Cove, he definitely got the boot. But I don't think he got the boot. Like, I don't think it was him getting the boot that made him leave the field. I think he got the boot after he left the field. So, okay. Really? What is going on here? Okay, hold on.
And I started to swim up.
And the next wave hit.
And then it just started all over again. Just every bit as bad as the first part of it.
Turning down the music. Okay. It sounds like we've got issues. So, let's see here. Okay. Oh! I know what the problem was. I mean, I don't know what the problem was. I don't know why it was doing that, but I know what the problem was. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what happened. You see, before I was here, yeah, no, it's not a commercial. What it is, what you're hearing in the background, actually, and thank you guys for popping off with this, because that would have gone on forever. No, what you're hearing in the background is what I was watching before I had to start the stream. I was up over on Terry in Scotland's stream, Terry in Scotland on Twitch, and he's showing a documentary on the big wave surfing scene, Hawaii, California, etc. And literally like a minute before I was supposed to go live, I was like, I don't want to do my stream. I want to keep watching this. And so I kept it on, but I didn't mute it. I didn't do nothing. So as soon as I unmuted my desktop audio within OBS, suddenly all of the music, all of the Twitch, all of the microphone, all of the everythings started coming through. So yeah, I'm super stoked that we've got an extra set of ears and very thankful that you all are just like, we got a problem, because I need somebody to keep me on a short leash, and all you all, yeah, you're it. So looks like Kenny from the Cove gifted a tier 1 sub to Lane and OG Sumo Vibe. Thank you so much, Kenny, for all that. Getting people the emotes that they can play with. And Rick, thank you for the tech check. Thank you. Tonight's a 720p broadcast, no lower choices available. But that's okay. We'll live. Pacola T, how many of you had Chinese takeout yesterday? It looks like you did. I did not have Chinese takeout yesterday, but I did make pot stickers at home, so maybe sort of that counts. And the most exciting thing today, that's right, the most exciting thing today, I got to go to the grocery store. Okay, actually, I didn't go to the grocery store. I got to go to the grocery store where they put my groceries in my car for me, and so now I have groceries. And the other best thing, I got to go to my post office box finally, and it looks like somebody sent me a fancy calendar. It is a Long's calendar from Elaine. And actually, Elaine also sent me, some Wisconsin postcards with maps. And I don't know if Elaine realizes how much of a map geek I am, but I probably spent more time looking at the front of the postcard, examining the maps, than I did reading the back, which, by the way, thank you so much for those kind words. I did read the back, but I'm a bit of a map geek. So you chose the most perfect postcards to send to this lady. I cannot even tell you. And a Long's Hawaiian, here we go. I don't know how. There we go. A Long's Hawaiian calendar, Long's Drug, C, nope, not there. C right there. With some of the best pictures ever, and I'm going to try to color some of them. I mean, not color the calendar, but use them as inspiration for my own coloring. And wow, now that I threw a bunch of blue onto my camera, suddenly I'm yellow. And you're right, it wasn't Elaine. I'm sorry, Elaine. You and eMusic, because of your ETG Aloha, and eMusic, I always get you guys in my brain crosswired. And then I thought that I fixed it, but now, yeah. I know. It says on the flippin' thing. eMusic, I'm so sorry. This is so my fault, and I'm horrible, but I will pretty much promise you this, eMusic. I will promise you this, Elaine. I'm going to continue to make this mistake. It's not like I want to make this mistake. It's not a goal of mine to make this mistake. But I have a feeling I'm going to continue to make this mistake. So what you're going to do is you're going to point and laugh at me every time I do it. And then you're going to correct me. Well, first probably correct me and then point and laugh. We know what we're talking about, right? If you've got the ability to point and laugh, you need to point and laugh, because this girl needs to be pointed at and laughed at. Broken Soul, you woke today with Thai on the brain. Get to town, settle into motel, look up Thai restaurant right down the road, and they're closed. Oh, you wanted to cry? Yeah, that sucks. That abso-flippin' sucks. Definitely. I think I'm going to be getting Chinese food next week. But, so eMusic, lots of people confuse you with Lono, who is Music is Life. That's okay. Well, I mean, worst people to be confused by, I guess. That's so cute. eMusic, Music is Life. Yeah, I can see how that happens. I can totally, if anybody can see how that happens, I can see how that happens. So you guys, I really am sorry. Like, it is embarrassing. Like, stupid embarrassing. And one day one day it'll work, one day it'll fit. But until then, just shake me stupid, shake me silly, just, smack the smart into my head or whatever. I cannot explain to you how flippin' foolish I feel every time I make that mistake. So yeah, there we go. But I happen to know that eMusic is not Music is Life. Word on the street is she's not. And I happen to know that eMusic might be in an area that does some things and stuff. Hey, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you low-key just want to take everything you own and move to Nebraska. Well, that's funny you should mention that, because I am just about to ask people about a Midwestern dish that I finally have the ingredients for. That's exactly right, Picolati. 1,000 lashes with a wet noodle, for sure. In fact, actually, if you want to make it a raw noodle that's still stiff and hard, whatever, I deserve the lashings. Vanilla Coke Pepsi, Nebraska is life and home. Well, I guess my question is, have you ever been to Nebraska? Have you ever been to Nebraska? But anyway, if you've been to Nebraska, you might actually have had this. So on my grocery list that I got delivered today, well, I didn't get it delivered. They bring it to you drive there and then they just put it in your car. I got the ingredients for the Midwestern hot dish. And I was just wondering, all you Midwest folks or anybody who's got an opinion about hot dish, if you've got any tricks of the trade. Because I'm gonna make myself one. I've never made one before, and hot dish is not something that we really have in these parts, right? I've read about them. They sound delicious. And a restaurant slash bar in downtown where I live recently put hot dish on their menu, and they're charging like $18 for a serving of casserole that people bring to potlucks in the Midwest, you know, for funerals and stuff. So I'm just like, I'm not paying $17 for tater tots, mushroom gravy, and beef. Like, what? So now medium 7-Up hot dish, how specific? I don't know if you know, I don't know the tone of that question, because hot dish does sound pretty generic, but it's actually, for those who don't know, hot dish is actually like a casserole. That's what they call it in the Midwest, apparently. Like, it's, well, that's actually sort of what I'm here to ask all y'all about. You know, it's ground beef and then mixed with other stuff. Okay, so yeah, okay, I had a feeling, medium 7-Up, that was your comment on not knowing what hot dish is. Right, exactly, because you and me both, my friend, we live on the coast. Hot dish, what is that? It's something that you use a pot holder for, right? No, dude. Hot dish is, okay, so Shock at least knows it's a Minnesota thing. I don't think it's just a Minnesota thing. I think it's like a, I think it's a Midwest thing for sure. And so, yeah, well, I figured since we got the Wisconsin folks here, and I was hoping that Ann would be here too, but I know that that some of the Wisconsin folks are going to be heading to watch the football game in a little bit. So, so I wanted to get the hot dish topic out of the way, because I need the Midwestern folk to you know, give me some hot tips on the hot dish. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure Rick is going to be in any position to do that. I think Darlene is the one who probably holds all the magic for hot dish, if she has little secrets. Andre, hot dish or hot plate? I missed something. Yeah, hot dish is a casserole, and it's basically, from what I gather, it's like ground beef on the bottom of the casserole dish, and then like, I don't know, like peas and carrots or something, and then like cream of mushroom soup or something, and then like you top it with tater tots. Now, maybe there's cheese involved, maybe there's not, I'm not really sure. And that's actually what I'm asking everybody here for, is like, oh, Rick, you've never heard of hot dish, but plenty baked potato casserole? Well, it's, some people call it funeral potatoes or funeral casserole. I guess, okay, so maybe it is like very enclave oriented and not everybody in the Midwest knows. Okay, so eMusic, over here they call it a dish to pass. You haven't lived here long enough to have that kind of knowledge that Ann and Darlene have. Okay, yeah, all right. So Wisconsin does have something that's just maybe not called hot dish. But yeah, from what I understand, it's a Midwestern casserole, and basically any, you know, funeral, church potluck, community dinner, there will be at least one hot dish on the table for people to, you know, to try. And Andre, thank you so much for the salty 10 and the crazy guy going around. So you can ask around the older ladies to see what their little secrets are. So Broken Soul looked on Google for recipes. There was many varieties, some with cheese, some without. So Rick, hot dish sounds like a Minnesota kind of thing. Well, according to Shock, it is a Minnesota kind of thing. I have heard of it in the Dakotas as well, so I made the mistake of thinking that maybe Wisconsin might have a version of it. And I'd be willing to bet that if Darlene was here, or if you shouted over your shoulder to Darlene, she might have an opinion on a hot dish. Oh, you gotta make sure you use the blah blah blah, because if you don't use the blah blah blah, it's just not gonna be right. And that was what I was hoping I could find out from you guys, was what the blah blah blah, the secret, you know, just what makes that secret ingredient the secret that makes yours better than everybody else's and stuff. Now, obviously, adding cheese pretty much usually makes anything better. But you know, okay, so shock, as long as it's bland. Yeah, you know, funny you should say that, my friend. Funny you should say that. I have read the ingredients, and it does seem like it's extraordinarily bland, which is why it's like there's got to be more to this than what I'm seeing, which is why I wanted to ask folks, like, what's your secret? And not only are you not late, you are literally just in time. I mean, we were. That's right. Oh, yeah. We were just talking about you. Oh, yeah, we were. We were talking about you. Specifically you. Why were we talking about you? Because you live in Minnesota, and you might know what a hot dish is. And I finally have the ingredients to make a hot dish. I've never made a hot dish before. But Ann Ware, you might have the secret knowledge to the hot dish. What I'm wondering is, what do you put in your hot dish? Like, how do you make it? What, you know, like, tell me about your hot dish. Because like I was saying to all y'all, you know, it's like, what, ground beef, cream of mushroom soup, and tater tots is basically the foundation of the hot dish. But as Shaq says, like, well, that seems kind of bland. You better believe that seems kind of bland. And so it's like, it's got to be more than just that. Darlene, no, you're not in trouble. You are just the help that we need. You're the wisdom we seek. We're the wisdom you seek. I have the ingredients for hot dish. Now, apparently in Wisconsin, it's called like pass a dish, or the dish to pass, or something like that. But you know, it's the casserole with the beef and the stuff, and then the tater tots on top. Whatever you call it, I'm sure you must know what I'm talking about. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. And if you know what I'm talking about, tell me if you have any secrets to make yours or mine or ours the best ever. And that's what I am looking to do. I'm probably not going to make a hot dish tonight, but I did get the ingredients today to make one. And so I'm thinking this week, even though it was snowy earlier and it's melting now, thank goodness, it's still kind of chilly. And so, you know, it's winter. Let's do a hot dish. And yeah, hot dish is what is what I'm talking about here. And so and E-Music is agreeing with Shock. Yeah, bland is sort of the flavor du jour up there. And let's see here. Shock, everyone you know from up that way considers ketchup to be spicy. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, you know what, Pacola T, speaking of Minnesota, sad to hear of Betty White passing, aka Rose Nyland from St. Olaf, Minnesota in Golden Girls. Gosh, you know, I didn't even think about the connection with current events and the hot dish, but that is exactly it. Yeah, it's all about the Minnesota hot dish, I guess. So, Kenny from the Cove, when you make this, am I going to make a video to show us? Well, probably not, because like mounting cameras and getting lighting and stuff, like doing, I've tried actually, like I had a whole cooking idea that I was going to do, and I did attempt it, and yeah, it didn't work. I suppose like if I had someone to hold the camera where it needs to be while I'm doing stuff, but as a singular person with very limited tech clamps and stands and things, no, I'm not going to. I probably will. I might take pictures and show you a little slideshow. And I did just last night learn how to use some video editing software, which you guys will get to see the results of for better or for worse later on tonight. So I would like to make more videos, but getting the shots for cooking videos is next to impossible with the equipment that I currently have. Because yeah, I would love to do that. But no, it's not going to happen. So, and where Minnesota hot sauce is ketchup, that's hysterical. Yep. So Andre, yeah, Minnesota's full of Hmong and Somalis, so Minnesota got a bit more spicy, probably in certain enclaves. So, oh my, shock, your friend from the UP, Upper Peninsula, breaks in a sweat over mild Mexican restaurant salsa. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I'm not the spiciest of spices, but even I can handle the mild salsa. So, okay, good. Okay, all right. So Darlene, she usually makes the sauce from scratch, but you can use canned cream of soup too. Noodles, there's noodles in a hot dish? And should be cooked al dente, so not to be too mushy when baking. I know that about the noodles, but I didn't know that there was noodles in a hot dish. You mean to tell me there's a casserole that has noodles and tater tots? This fat girl just loves that. You need a video of Statter taste testing the finished hot dish like Kayla and Tegan. Well, now that I could probably do. Let's see here. I do like mushrooms, and they add an additional flavor to the dish. I even have some canned mushrooms because I forgot to get fresh ones. So that could work. And eMusic, you've gone to church potlucks here for fundraisers, and there are a lot of dishes like the one I described. Yeah, apparently it's like a thing in that area. So let's see. Oh no, Darlene, your Twitch is spinning. Well, don't struggle too long because I know that you're not going to be here for super much longer. You've got a whole entire football game to be watching, but thank you so much for your input on the hot dish. I will be looking into your version maybe with the noodles. That sounds good. And Chocolate, one suspects that hot dish predates tater tots and that starches are interchangeable. Well, yes and no. It seems like the one universal is that it's topped with tater tots. Like the casserole I am talking about has tater tots. Like that is one of the universal foundations of it. But I wouldn't be surprised. If there are additional starches, because some people really like to overload starches with starches. I have a friend from the Midwest who her grandma makes noodles in beef sauce, and she uses the noodles in beef sauce as the gravy to her mashed potatoes. So to be clear, my friend uses gravy on her mashed potatoes that has noodles in it. So she has noodles, gravy, and mashed potatoes. Midwestern people, no, not Midwestern, American people like their carbs. Yes. And where your grandma made green bean casserole with crispy fried onions. It was my favorite way to ingest green beans as a kid. My mom made that too, and I don't know why I called it chunking, but I referred to that green bean casserole because I know what you're talking about. And I referred to that casserole as chunking, and so every time I requested chunking, my mom would just be like, that's not what it's called, but yeah, I can make it. Okay, first time chatter here every day. My feelings become darker. Did that happen to you? No. No, I try to have the feelings get lighter with the sunrise coming back up and the like. So yeah, right now topic is hot dish and other random fill your belly type casseroles, but hot dish in particular. So let's see here. Andre, they get Nashville chicken in Minneapolis, but most of the top rated spicy food places are Asian in that. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised. Not at all surprised. Pacola tea. I don't know if I would call that an appetizer because that sounds like a belly pleaser and a belly filler, but Pacola tea says best appetizer ever was a riff on poutine clam chowder dumped on tater tots. Okay. All right. And here's the deal, you guys. I got the tater tots for two reasons. First off, I'll figure I tried hot dish, but you remember, for those of you who were there, you'll remember. For those of you who weren't there, well, let me tell you, one of my friends created a quiche using tater tots as the crust. And so I figure even if the hot dish is 100% just stupid and I made a mistake trying it, I'm still going to have tater tots left over for the quiche crust, or the crust of the quiche, and I know that that's going to be good. So, yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly, medium 7-Up. Carbs are just so yummy. I mean, they really, really are. So, let's see here. Okay, so Darlene, if not making a savory dish, but more of a Hispanic dish, swap out the canned soup and use some salsa mixed with a cheesy sauce. Sort of like my white trash cheese dip, I guess. And instead of noodles, use rice, then add other ingredients like green onions, etc., and then put tater tots on the top. See, everything that you said before the tater tots on the top, I was like, oh, dude, I've totally had that, or something like that. But then you add tater tots on the top, and it's like, oh, dude, I've never had that. I think I might have that, need that. So, Andre, the French have mirepoix. Yeah, exactly. The celery, onions, and carrot. And the Latinos have sofrito. And the Cajuns, they have their holy trinity, which is green pepper, celery, and onion. But Americans, yeah, we have cream of mushroom soup. That's true. That's true. I actually don't usually have cream of mushroom soup in my repertoire, but I've been digging through my pantry and I found a stash of soups that I didn't even know I had, and so it's like, might as well use one or two of them. So yeah. Let's see here. Broken Soul, corn and sweet peas mixed into mashed potatoes and gravy, then used as a dipping sauce for breaded steak fingers and hand-cut fries. Starch stacked on starch. That is a starchy one. Okay, yeah. All right, okay. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, we're on a little bit of a food trip today. So, if you're on a diet, if you're carb free, or if you're just not feeling the food zone, yeah, this might not be where you want to hang out at the moment. But thanks for swinging by. Yeah, the Minnesota tater tot hot dish. That is what I'm talking about. And so, I was hoping that someone would have, a super secret trick to make it super secret better, because like I said, there is a restaurant in town that is serving up a portion of hot dish for like $17 per plate. And that to me seems a little bit over the top for ground beef and tater tots mixed with soup, Chocolat, how old are those soups? Well, they're not a decade old, but that's part of the reason why I am using them. It's like I kind of like to rotate, because my deep pantry is really more like my emergency store food, things. If you looked in my pantry, you'd just be like, whoa, dude, how many dried noodles and canned vegetables and whatever do you need, and instant rice packets and whatever. These are mostly things that I don't eat, but these are things that are shelf stable and that pretty much are going to be high energy, a lot of calorie impact for if and when an earthquake comes and the grocery stores are all closed. So my pantry is full of a lot of stuff that I actually don't eat. And consequently, I like to rotate through them. So eventually, if and when I need to open the pantry for real emergency reasons, I don't go, wow, that would have been a great can of soup to eat in 2004, but it's not now. So, I know exactly. And, tots, right? I mean, come on, and 1934, yep, that sounds about right, is when they invented cream of mushroom soup. Tater tots were invented much later, and apparently there was a time, and I thought this was funny, my boss was telling me there was a time that tater tots were actually considered like fancy food. When they were brand new, they were served at, like high-end restaurants. So, yeah, okay, Darlene, not surprised you haven't made one in a while, for you've been trying to be good on the carbs and sugars. Your blood work has greatly improved with me watching the carbs and such. Yeah, that makes sense. So, shock, 10-plus-year-old tuna was found today. Irk. You know what, though? If the can is okay, I mean, I've eaten Spam that literally was 14 years expired, and it was fine. The only thing that was weird about it was, oh, this Spam is so old that it's got more of that jelly stuff. Because, like, remember back in the day, Spam kind of was goopy when you took it out of the can. Well, these days it's not nearly as goopy. Whereas the stuff that was 14 years expired, I noticed, like, oh, this is the old-fashioned goopy kind. So, yeah. So, Broken Soul, Mad Statter, he says, I have learned that instead of using just cream of chicken for a casserole, thirds of cream. So you do thirds of cream of chicken, mushroom, and celery for a richer flavor. Well, you know, that's funny. You should mention that. I grew up with basically all about the cream of mushroom. But I have noticed that cream of celery kind of makes a better mix. And I've never tried the third chicken, mushroom, celery combo. But yeah, I bet, dude, that totally, totally. That sounds like a great plan. Sawyer likes babies. Ole. Hey, how is it? We are talking about random hot dishes from the Midwest that would, that basically would make your arteries clog just talking about them. And of course, Kenny from the Cove, you were totally content before this chat. Belly full, fat and happy. Now you're doing a mental inventory of what's in your fridge. Yep, that's funny. Let's see here. Nope, I don't have any. That's funny. Sorry, likes babies. I don't have any cheese, but if you'd been here last Wednesday, we had talked about cheese for like 45 minutes. So, you know, you're go check out the rerun on Twitch or on YouTube, Mad Statter. And if you want to talk about cheese, we've got 40 minutes of cheese talk. That's right. 40 minutes of cheese talk. Let's see here. Your favorite Vegas steakhouse makes their own tater tots and serves with truffle oil. So darn addictive. Potatoes with truffle oil or shaved truffle, anything. Potatoes and truffles are a match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. Let's see here. So Darlene, your mom used to make leftover chicken casserole with cut up leftover chicken, the noodles, chopped celery, onions, fresh mushrooms, then mix in cream and mushroom soup. But she used to top the casserole with hash browns. What? Never had hash browns on top of casseroles. Why not? That sounds delicious. Where has this been all my life? You know, honestly, I think a hash brown on top of the casserole would probably be better than a tater tot. Because tater tots, you know, they're mushy in the middle, whereas hash browns could get all crispy and good. Huh. Well, I'm not getting the answers that I wanted for my hot dish, but I'm getting a lot way better ideas. So we're good. Fantastic. So let's see here. All right. So creamed corn is really kind of gross in my opinion, but Broken Soul just suggested something that might actually be acceptable. He says creamed corn with diced onions and minced garlic stewed down in a skillet. I could probably do that. The thing that I don't like about creamed corn is because it's kind of sweet. But the onions and the garlic, I could maybe do that. Kenny from the Cove, oh, be right back. I just remembered you got a slice of homemade Black Forest cake in the fridge. That is so funny. Andre, we had to make Hungarian goulash for a school trip, and our team put too much hot paprika in it, and people found it too spicy. I'll tell you, dude, that half-sharp paprika, that's the spicy stuff, is way hotter than I ever expected. I'm not really a fan of half-sharp, because I'm a wimp when it comes to spices. I mean, I do... If I'm gonna need a spice, then I'm gonna use a half-sharp paprika versus a cayenne. But yeah, dude, that is, I can see how a little bit too much might be a little bit too much. Yeah. Yes, Darlene. Yeah, I think you guys hung out like 10 minutes longer than I expected. So thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for throwing down some excellent ideas. I mean, hash browns on casserole. Yeah, I might have to try that. Might have to try that. Broken Soul, paprika, hot, not in your experience. That's because you've had either the smoked or the sweet. There's actually multiple kinds of paprika. There's the sweet paprika, which is what most people, when you say, sprinkle paprika on for color, sprinkle paprika on the top, the paprika blah 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 with the deviled eggs, that's always going to be the sweet kind. And then you've got the smoked kind, which I like to put in when I make my own like taco spice and chili spice. I like to use a little bit of smoked paprika. But then there's this other version of paprika, and it's called half sharp. And half sharp paprika actually has a spice, a heat to it. So I'm not at all surprised that you haven't run across the half sharp, because most people in their pantries just have the sweet variety, not the hot variety. And usually people don't have the smoked variety either. And where are you telling me that there's a cookbook with about 200 different recipes of the Great Minnesota Hot Dish? See, I was hoping you guys could be my 200 recipes of the Great Minnesota Hot Dish, but that's okay. Now that I know there's a book, I am definitely going to be grabbing that, or at least the internet version. And first update, Green Bay 3, Vikings 0, early first quarter. Don't get too cocky, Rick. I mean, I know. I feel ya. I feel ya. We think we know what's going to happen, but don't count on it. So let's see here. Andre, you're going to really love hearing what was said tonight on the rerun of you. Well, you'll have to wait till tomorrow for that one. Yeah, Kenny from the Cove, sweet paprika is what you use in your Hungarian goulash. Yeah, things like paprika chicken, the goulash generally is going to be the sweet kind. And I see Broken Soul likes Reaper peppers, so paprika will not be hot. Okay, so half sharp paprika for someone who likes Reaper peppers will not be spicy at all. That is true. But I still am willing to go out on a limb and guess that he's maybe not had the half sharp kind, because it's not something that people have in their pantries. And where that's okay. It's okay that you're not a hot dish chef. I just figured, you would be more likely to have an example of what to put in a hot dish than someone like, say, Medium 7-Up, who, when I said hot dish, he's like, could you be more specific? Like, what? He didn't even know what a hot dish is. Rightfully so. He's on the coast. I'm on the other side of the coast, and we don't do hot dishes here. So you at least knew what the flippin' florp we were talking about. So you're good. You're good. And even if you didn't know what we were talking about, you're still good. You're still good. And where, I know that you, just said, yeah, sure. But when I see you saying, yeah, sure, my brain says, you betcha. You didn't finish that phrase when you said, yeah, sure. You betcha. That's right. That's right. Let's see here. Prairie Home Companion is your data source for hot dish. Oh, okay. That's actually, that totally sounds like exactly who would have some info on that. Let's see here. Okay, Broken Soul. Your parents are huge spice connoisseurs. You grew up around tons of stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay. So, all right. And both parents have a wide variety of paprika, including sweet, smoked, and chipotle. Excellent. Yeah. Well, my best guess is then they probably do have half sharp. So, okay. You come from a family with a spice cupboard. Like I said, most folks though, the half sharp is just, they don't even know. So yeah. Oh, okay. I missed that, Shock. That's because Anne's yeah, sure was in response to your you bet. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. So hot dish is on my radar for this week, but in regards to foods that, let's see, oh, wait, hold on. Okay, wait, we're talking about football again. I'm going to go backwards. So, eMusic tells Andre, you had to hide from Green Bay fans because you were a Seahawks fan, which doesn't surprise me and kind of makes me laugh. But then Andre's like, the new BART trains in the San Francisco Bay Area are in the Seahawk colors, and it kind of pisses off some 49er fans. I don't doubt that. I mean, what were they thinking? I'm not a football head, but even I know. I mean, come on. How did that pass? I recognize that the graphic designer and the interior designer and the whatever designer, I recognize that they might not have gotten it, but how did it pass through committee? How did somebody in the stage of something not go, oh yeah, neon green and navy blue, those are the Seahawks colors. We can't use that here in 49erville. Like, you're telling me that nobody noticed? That's just silly. Somebody should have noticed. So, I know this is very circuitous and very bizarre, but we're going to do this. Okay. So, Broken Soul, the chairman of the committee, was from Seattle, maybe? Perhaps. Okay, you guys know that one of my first emotes was my super stoked emote, right? And I have mentioned that my super stoked emote was based on a band's logo, and the band was named the Supersuckers. I've also mentioned that I've loved the Supersuckers since forever, and I would like to tell you a little story about the Supersuckers and how they came about making their album Must Have Been High. So, the Supersuckers, back in the day, they were a part of the Sub Pop record label industry at the beginning of grunge, early 90s, etc. Sub Pop is the label that broke Nirvana, so Sub Pop, kind of a big deal. They got signed to Sub Pop, they were stoked, they made a bunch of albums, but then things started getting kind of big for them, and they got signed to an even bigger label, and they were super stoked. Dude, they were stoked. So, they wanted to go to the bigger label, and they wanted to get out of the Sub Pop contract. However, Sub Pop was just like, no, you still owe us an album. So, the smart band that the Supersuckers are, these guys right here, this is the era that we're talking about. These guys right here, you can tell they are brain surgeons. From the left with no shirt, Montrose Heathman. Middle guy with the hat, Eddie Spaghetti, he is the singer. Drummer, Dan Siegel, aka Dancing Eagle. And then the end in the leather jacket, that is right, Dan Thunder Bolton. You can tell that these guys are brain surgeons. That is right, brain surgeons. So, these guys decide, that's right, we're going to show Sub Pop. We're going to show them who's boss. We're going to make an album. We're a rock and roll punk rock band, and we're going to make an album, and we're going to make a country album. So they made a country album called Must Have Been High. And they made that album as a big old F you to Sub Pop. Just get out of our faces. We're going to do this, and we're going to screw you over, because we going to make a country album. Yeah, guess what? Best-selling album of their entire flippin' career. Sub Pop flippin' walked away laughing to the bank. Yeah, it's their best-selling album. So now suddenly they're like, oh, I guess we're a country band now? That's not how that was supposed to happen. Hey, Little Dipper 234. I am talking about my favorite band, the Supersuckers, for a reason. We will get to the reason here. So, super funny in the sense that it's just like, you know, they thought that they were showing Sub Pop. Sub Pop actually walked away with the bank. And we've got a rain of biddies here coming in. Thank you so much, Kenny from the Cove, for the 400 biddies. Thank you so much. Andre for the 300 biddies. Thank you so much. Aware for the 300 biddies. And I think I might have even missed some more biddies. So we've got a hype train, I do believe, coming through, which is craziness. Thank you so much. 81% level 1. Oh my God. Dude. Whoa, Broken Soul. We've got all sorts of biddies. And you know what? I can't count the snowmen unicorns, but we've got enough of them that I'm going to say thank you. So, woohoo! All right, so celebration. Andre, 200 biddies. Holy crumbly wumbly. Gosh darn it, I should start talking about the Supersuckers more often. You guys are bringing in the new year with some serious pennies from heaven. Thank you guys so much. And where another 100. Kenny from the Cove, another 100. Gosh, you guys, this is just hypey, woohoo. Yes, so super stoked on this. Now, thank you for your patience. We're almost done with my random story. So, all right, these brain surgeons right here, they showed Sub Pop who was boss. Well, the guy on the right with the leather jacket, that brain surgeon, let me tell you, dude, you want to know what he ate for breakfast this morning? I happen to know what he ate for breakfast this morning. He ate this. He made those. That brain surgeon sure as heck knows his way around a kitchen. Look at those huevos rancheros. Look at those beautiful, beautiful eggs. See, I told you I was going to bring it back to food. I know, it was circuitous. I know, it was random. I know, it's like, what? Why is she talking about this punk rock country band telling their label to go screw themselves? Because of this breakfast right here. Yes, Dan Thunder Bolton knows how to cook an egg. Or 2. Or 3. And that hot sauce, yeah, that's actually hot sauce. That's not ketchup. That's real hot sauce. And so, because we talk about food today, or not today, all the time, because we always talk about food, when this came across my email this morning from a friend, because Thunder Bolton is staying at a friend's house, and Thunder was making breakfast for everybody, I got to see just this wonderful delight, and I will say, yeah. That gentleman obviously is from Arizona, and he clearly knows how to make a breakfast. And frankly, I wish that I had been invited to that breakfast, because my oh my, yum, yum, yum. That looks delicious. So, we're gonna get back to my face, even though I want to keep looking at those eggs. I know, right, Ann? I mean, just look at those egg yolks. I mean, come on. Yeah. All right. So, we're going to take, 3, 2, 1, done with the eggs, except for maybe not. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll be done. All right, we're done with the eggs. Bear Belly, thank you so much for 100 biddies. Yes, oh, you guys, bringing in the new year with a solid hype train. Excelente. Yeah. So, it looks like we've got... So let's see here. It looks like we've got a discussion. Yes, Herdez does make a decent salsa. That was why I was saying, it was like, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's a little spicier than just ketchup, right? Yeah. So there we have it. Kenny from the Cove, another 100 biddies. Oh my goodness, you guys, just throwing them at me. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Okay, let's see here. Yes. Bear Belly, happy new second day of the year. That is correct. It is show 57, I believe, for Chatter with Statter, and I'm so thankful that we get to hang out every week. We've created a great community here, and this show is all because of all of us and every little contribution that everyone is making to get this production rolling. Let's see here. What was Ann saying? So Ann saying, I may be Minnesotan, but I love all kinds of hot sauce on eggs in the morning. Yeah, that's right. You know, when I worked at the bowling alley restaurant when I was a teenager, and this was in the late 80s, early 90s, right? You know, hot sauce wasn't what it is now. But even us, the bowling alley, you know, it was... Trust me, not ethnic food. It's the bowling alley. We had the variety of hot sauces that we had for people to put on their eggs was, I mean, it took up a whole shelf. It was, do you want, you know, what kind of Tabasco? We've got 87 kinds. And then, you know, we've got the Tapatio, we've got the this, we've got the that. Hot sauce on eggs is definitely, you know, eggs, yeah, they need a little oomph. Bear Billy, 57, good odd number. I know, I counted today and I was like, oh, 57, I kind of like that. Does it mean anything? No, but you know, there we have it. Let's see here. Broken Soul, not by too much. Herdez has more kick from onion than pepper. Oh, really? See, yeah, I don't know. I don't I'm more of a green sauce person. And so those red sauces, it's like, yeah, they're in the door of my fridge for other people. I've never had them. So I don't know. So I guess maybe I won't be so afraid of Herdez anymore now that I know it's not going to hurt me. But you know, what am I talking about? You eat Carolina Reaper peppers and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's not going to hurt me cuz he told me it's not that bad." That's stupid of me to think, because I really do think that you might have a higher heat tolerance than me. I mean, I'm just saying. So let's see here. Cholula or Kahula, or I don't know how to I know the hot sauce you're referring to, Shock, and isn't that the one with the wooden lid? I can't remember. Either that or Tapatio is the one with the wooden lid. So, yeah. Broken Soul. Exactly. Herdez has the green salsa and the green street taco sauce. Yeah, that's what that's what I have at my house. That's what I use in my fridge. Although I do have some red Herdez sauce in my fridge as well. I've just never used that. So let's see here. Kenny's telling you, well, you're from Texas, so Kenny's bragging about a local hot salsa here called Hell on the Red, and that is awesome on eggs. Yeah, you guys. Cholula. Okay, it's a wooden, and it has, yes, Cholula does have the wooden topper. Okay, I couldn't remember which one had the wooden one. So, yeah, Andre, you know, back when I was worked at the restaurant, there was a ton of hot sauces, and that was even before hot sauces became, you know, television shows surrounding the hot sauces. I can't believe, I mean, I guess I can, but the industry that is surrounding hot sauce and the varieties of hot sauces and the competitions for hot sauces and the this and the that and the other thing, I don't know, man. It just makes my tongue kind of sweat thinking about it. Yeah. So Broken Soul, you'll stick with Scorpion Tabasco, that or 3 Res Diablos. No, or Tres Diablos. Yeah, I would stick with just the Tabasco. Just the plain Tabasco. Although actually the green Tabasco, that works too. But yeah, no, anything else, not so much. Hey, welcome Raiders, Terry from Scotland. Thank you so much for coming in. I have to tell you, it was kind of hard for me to leave your stream, dude. Not only was it kind of hard for me to leave your stream, I accidentally left your stream going. So it was also feeding through my stream. So people were listening to what you were showing for a little while until people were just like, what is going on with your audio? It is all messed up. But yeah, Terry, I kind of didn't want to. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I didn't want to come hang out with you guys tonight. Terry's stuff was so awesome. I kind of just wanted to watch that documentary on the surfing that was going on. Oh, I'm looping again? Why did that happen? Thank you, Shock. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, medium 7 up. Someone else heard the echo too. I must have clicked something. I don't know what I did. I mean, I do know what I did, but I don't know what I did. I shouldn't. Yeah, Echo Hooney. I think, okay. I'm going to rub my nose. Now I'm talking. I wonder if there's an echo. I think I fixed the echo. If you heard an echo, it was an echo. You weren't just making that up. My mixer told me. Now my mixer tells me there should be no echo. Excellent, Kenny. Echo is pow. Perfect. Yeah, there was an echo. All y'all, you're not hallucinating it. It was there, but now it's gone. So Andre's saying the Aussies ask the Kiwi, why do Kiwi horses run so fast? The Kiki cat asks why the Aussie says that. Wait, what? Hold on. The Aussies ask the Kiwi, why do Kiwi horses run so fast? The Kiwi asks why the Aussie says they saw what you did to the sheep. Oh, the Aussie says they saw what you did to the sheep. Andre, that reminds me of a joke about a Scotsman. So I'm going to tell you, because I am mostly, my genetic ancestry can be traced back to Scotland pretty quickly in my lineage. So I can tell you this story or this joke without feeling too horrible, because it's really a horrible joke. But what's the difference between the Rolling Stones and a Scotsman? The Rolling Stones say, "Hey, you, get off of my cloud." Whereas a Scotsman says, "Hey, McLeod, get off of my you." And I think that's a really funny joke. So, yeah, there you go. Pocola tea, probably more than a dozen hot sauces in the fridge, depending upon what dish we're having. It pretty much goes on everything. Yeah, it goes on nothing, but I always have hot sauce in my fridge because every one of my friends, because actually, here's why. Because one day we were having Mexican food and I didn't have any hot sauce. And my friend was just like, "I can't eat this then." And I was like, "Well, I've got sriracha." And he was just like, "That's not even," he was just like, "I'm going to pretend like you didn't even say that." He was just like, "That is not even acceptable hot sauce for the Mexican foods." So, yeah, I don't, I learned to never make that mistake again. Yeah. I know, Anne, exactly. That was such a groany joke. I know, isn't it though? It's such that what is the Rolling Stones Scotsman? Yeah. Such a grown joke. But I have to say, I do enjoy the joke because there was this one time that my sister, oh gosh, she was so angry at me. I mean, she was pissed and just sad and pissed. Anyway, I made her cry, ultimately. I didn't mean to. But I made her cry. I did. And in order to make her stop crying, I told her that joke, and she actually did break into laughter. So I do enjoy that joke for that reason. Broken Soul, blueberry ghost pepper sauce is good with chicken and pork. I disagree because it sounds scary, but blueberry pepper sauce, not ghost pepper, but pepper itself, the kind that I could handle, not you, the kind that I can handle, that does actually sound pretty good. Terry in Scotland, don't make sheep shagging jokes. Scots take that activity quite seriously. Well, Terry, a Scotsman is the one who told me that joke, actually. So I felt a little bit okay about telling it. And I've told it to a couple Scotsmen, American Scot folk, and they all get a kick out of it. But I can appreciate why somebody might raise an eyebrow and just be like, "No, that's not an acceptable joke to tell." At which point I'll say, "Okay, I won't tell it in front of you anymore, but I'm still going to tell it." And there you go. Andre, so you wonder if you're dealing with people who eat a lot of hot sauce and hot peppers. Are they resistant to pepper spray? That's actually a really good question, especially if they cook with it a lot and then the capsaicin gets vaporized into the air. Because I know that when my friend was cooking up some Scotch bonnets, just frying them up in the frying pan, the steam was so spicy that I had to leave the kitchen. It was making me cry and this and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if there maybe is a bit of resistance. I mean, I clearly don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. And yes, Broken Soul, bell pepper is not too spicy for me. In fact, jalapenos aren't really even too spicy for me. I just don't like the flavor of jalapenos. So I would much rather have a different kind of pepper than a jalapeno. And it's not actually the spice that makes me scared of the jalapeno. It's the actual flavor of said pepper. But green peppers, yeah, I can totally eat green peppers. Well, actually, when it comes to bell peppers, apparently when I cook red bell pepper, it gives me heartburn. So no, I guess I can't eat it. But as far as like how it feels on my tongue, I can. So, So, Broken Soul, you would think pepper spray would kick your arse. You don't eat peppers with your eyes. All right, fair point, fair point, fair point. But but still, see though, I don't know. I feel like if you cook enough with it, I had a dishwasher friend who literally cleared the kitchen on accident when someone gave him a cutting board that had been used for a bunch of super hot peppers, and he just sprayed the hot dishwasher spray water on it, the way you do when you're washing dishes at a restaurant. Well, that vaporized the oils into the air so much, and it was a steam of capsaicin, and he literally cleared the kitchen out. Like he, everybody had to leave. So I would think that people who cook with them might, with the vapor, have a resistance. I mean, I'm not saying that it's, they're not going to feel it. So let's see here. Andre coming in with some knowledge about some things and stuff. Let's find out what those things and stuff are. You can build up a tolerance to pepper spray, and in fact, there is a percentage of the population which is not affected by pepper spray. Myth. No matter whom is sprayed or how many times they've been sprayed, Saber pepper spray causes the eyes to involuntarily slam shut. In addition to the heat-bearing ingredients, blah, blah, July 2nd, 2014. Okay, well, first off, I'm not going to argue with that because pepper spray is very concentrated, but I'm also going to go out on a limb and say, you got that off of their website and they're trying to sell you a product. So I'm not necessarily sure that I will take that resource as the final arbiter of truth in regards to tolerance. But I do think though that you can get a little, I'm not saying that you can get a tolerance enough that you can go walk into a cop, into a cloud of it and not be affected. I just do think that, some people might be more affected than others is all. So there you go. Oh, so Terry, I kind of thought you were joking when you were talking about sheep shagging championships, but now I think that maybe you're not because they take place in your hometown of Lanark. All right, then. Okay. Darlene, okay, a bit of a break in the game. Packers still winning, but not by much. Excellent. Darlene, I'm glad to hear that. Now, I want the Packers to win, but it's nice when when it's a good game, right? When it's just like... I remember the one and only Super Bowl that I ever watched was when the Seahawks beat the Broncos. And quite honestly, it was the most boring game I've ever seen in my life because it was like 42-0 or something. I mean, within the first 30 seconds, they had already scored. And it was just like, oh, well, if this is how this is going to go, this is going to be kind of boring. Yeah. So, I mean, let's have a good game, shall we? Yes. And where once you were eating in a breakfast joint in New Mexico and asked for Hawaii Fong Sriracha for my eggs, the server stared me down and just put Tabasco on the counter in front of me. Oopsie. Yeah, I'll bet you in New Mexico, the word sriracha is probably fighting words. Yeah. So, Broken Soul, your cousin used to use military issue cayenne pepper spray to season his food in the field. That doesn't surprise me. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard of soldiers in the field using the little tiny bottle of Tabasco that sometimes used to at least come with their food, using it in their eyes to keep them awake. Which to me sounds like the worst. You might be awake, but to me it's like my eyes are squeezed shut. And I mean, it seems like the dumbest thing ever. I don't know whether or not that's actually true. It's something I've heard, and it confuses me. So, yeah, it confuses me. So, yeah, I know exactly. That's terrible. Whoa, Andre, you were surprised this morning. It was like 34 degrees in Oakland this morning. That is chilly. It was actually warmer up here in Seattle than that. And they have been calling for rain all throughout my area to melt the snow, right? So I kept looking out the window and there was no rain. I kept looking out the window, there was no rain. My weather app was just like, oh yeah, it's raining. And it's like, no, it's not. Well, I opened the radar and seriously, for hours, dude, hours, there was this donut hole of no rain right above my town. It was raining, like pouring to the green and the yellows and the reds. I mean, it was just like downpour, 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 and everywhere, except for this donut hole right in the middle where I live. And it's like, well, I want my snow to melt too. So, yeah. Hey, Tony Suss, good to see you. My Christmas was pretty good. My New Year's was pretty good. How about you? Let's see here, Bonzo Max. It looks like you are a first-time chatter, perhaps, and you've got someone named Chris who might have a birthday. Fantastic. Happy birthday, Chris. Let's see here. Whoa, Darlene, 13 degrees. That's a little bit chilly, but I know what that feels like now, and I don't like it because it's cold. And where you used it and you liked it, Tabasco is good. Yeah, Tabasco is good. I mean, it really, what I like about Tabasco, and I know that people who really like spicy things don't like this about Tabasco. What I like about Tabasco is it comes out so small that it's really hard to overdo it. Whereas if you're somebody who wants to overdo it, Tabasco is remarkably frustrating. But I like it when it's just a little bit. Yes. Yeah, Tony, good to see you again. Haven't seen you for a couple weeks. So, okay, so Kenny from the Cove, that it is true. It makes you not want to close your eyes by using the Tabasco. And in the day that also use cigarette tobacco, oh, that sounds horrible. I'm going to let them do that. And Terry, 45 light rain in Scotland. Yeah, that's what they were sort of calling for here in Seattle. And 45 with light rain is exactly what the ice-packed streets need to just make them go away. But yeah, donut hole of dryness here. It's still flipping a little bit snowy. And Tabasco enriched mac and cheese recipe is wonderful. I totally agree. As much as I say oh, I'm not a spicy person, when it comes to mac and cheese or any kind of cheese sauce, you always need a little bit of something Tabasco, maybe a little bit of mustard, a little bit of cayenne, just a little something to give that kick. And that helps to me, it helps the cheese flavor taste cheesier. It sort of rounds out the richness and it helps to bring the cheese flavor back, for lack of a better term, I guess. Andre, when you went to your first punk rock concert, you saw a lot of people there using Visine. I asked my friend why there were so many people with eye problems. She laughed and said they were putting liquid LSD into their eyes to get a quick high to trip. Wow, trippy. I don't think I would like that. Yeah, no. Yeah, Darlene, you did get 5 inches of snow yesterday with winds blowing and drifting. I saw your Facebook post and it was just like, oh, I recognize that voice. And boy, do I recognize that snow. We got some at our house too. So, okay, so Broken Soul, try Scorpion Tabasco. About 3 drops of the Scorpion is equal to roughly a teaspoon of the regular Tabasco. Yeah, see, no, here's the deal, Broken Soul. But you're totally bringing up my point, which is I only want 3 drops of the regular, which is why I like the bottle. Just go doot, 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 we're good. But for you who wants a teaspoon, your eggs are going to get cold by the time you get a teaspoon out. So yeah, you want the Scorpion kind. Totally. Yeah, right, yeah, Pocola tea, you feel that way about malt vinegar. It usually comes out in little drops, and then accidentally you really douse your chips, and the chips then, of course, get soggy, and they get kind of sour. Yeah, because malt vinegar on chips is good, but yeah, you definitely want to be sparing with that. Or I mean, maybe you don't. Well, you obviously do, and I obviously do. I'm not going to tell anybody else how to live their life. Oh my goodness, negative 11 degrees in Minnesota, and I think eMusic was saying -3 or something. Where did it go? Oh, I can't find it. So, but like negative numbers. Bear Belly, you like Tabasco sauce sprinkled on top of cream and mushroom soup? Well, that makes sense. Cream and mushroom soup is kind of just, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Actually, I've never tried it, but that makes sense. Hey, OG Sumo Vibe, good to see you. That is right. I am on my soapbox about food, basically. And you love my sour face? Yeah. Well, you know how it gets you sore. Yeah. Bear Belly, you have snow in our San Diego mountains. It's been the mid-high 30s at night where you live. Wow. That reminds me though, it was in the year 2000 and I was on a road trip in mid-March. We're going to say mid-March, from Seattle down to San Diego and then over to Austin, Texas. Now, this is mid-March on my road trip. Hey, Shenpu, bonjour, hello, good to see you. We are talking about random stuff, but mostly food. Right now, I'm actually talking about snow in San Diego. So I'm driving down the coast to get to San Diego. And on that road trip down and over, I saw snow in 2 places. Now, this is mid-March, and I saw snow in 2 places. The 2 places I saw snow, I drove through it in downtown Los Angeles. Well, not downtown Los Angeles, but like I-5 through Los Angeles. It was snowing. What? So yeah, downtown Los Angeles, it was snowing. Yeah. That was the first place I saw the snow. The second place I saw the snow, San Diego County. Granted, it was up in the mountains, so it made a little bit more sense. But yeah, on my cross-country road trip, I saw snow in 2 places. Los Angeles and San Diego. You know, where it snows. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Shinpo, we started with hot dish and now we've made our way to hot sauce. That is exactly it. But we did have a brief Huevos Rancheros interlude, which I guess is what introduced the hot sauce. And I know snow in downtown LA, eMusic. I know, like I said, the snow in the mountains of San Diego actually didn't surprise me. And had I not had the snow in Los Angeles, I probably wouldn't have even like mentioned it because it's like, there was snow in the mountains. The mountains happen to be in San Diego County, but still snow in the mountains. But I think it's hysterical that I can actually say Los Angeles and San Diego is where I saw the snow. And granted, it wasn't snow. I mean, it was like slush by the time it was on the ground. But it was white stuff falling from the sky. I never in my life would have bet that would have happened, especially like mid-March. I mean, what are we talking about? What? Oh, excellent. It looks like we've got some French-speaking folk here. I do not speak or read French, but by all means, if you all know what each other's talking about, then go on and have that conversation. Yes, Kenny, it was snow. I mean, it was slush by the time I was driving through it, but it was, it was wet, big, sloppy flakes. And I'm sure it didn't hang around very often or very long at all. But yeah, seriously, dude, snow on I-5 in Los Angeles, it made no sense to me at all. So, let's see here. Looks like, Rick checking in, breaking the action after another field goal. You can't win by just kicking field goals. Well, you might be able to, but yeah, let's get some real action, says Rick. Darlene, so on my birthday in mid-March, had a blizzard just a couple years back, 18 inches of snow. and such strong winds, it was a whiteout. Everything was shut down. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Actually, I mean, even in Seattle, we can get snowstorms in middle of March. Shoot, it's snowed in April in the Seattle area, but Los Angeles, I mean, they don't even get rain. Come on, they don't even get rain. So, yeah. So, let's see here. Wow. Okay. So Bear Belly, you saw snow flurries one year on the shores of Coronado Island, just across your Big Bay Bridge. Wow. Okay. Now, once again, that is, well, even more mind blowing than in Los Angeles. Because, mountains are where snow belongs. But please, the Bay of San Diego with the Coronado Island, that's not where the snow belongs. I mean, I'm not trying to tell snow how to live its life, but I don't really know if that's the neighborhood it should be looking into. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly, Shock. Where is Vanilla when we need him, right? Let's see here. Yeah, Darlene, that's what it sounds like. The Green Bay game isn't really full of action-packed. It's low scoring and not even one-sided. It's just, well, who knows? Halftime will bring, who knows what halftime will bring, right? Right. So, okay, we have got football talk, and I'm not even going to touch it because all I can say is, yeah, dude, exactly, Paquility. Snow on a beach is a trippy sight. And I'm going to say that even in the Pacific Northwest. Even though it's, we're in the north and there should be snow. I mean, we still have it on the ground. But still, being on the beach when it snows is just a very surreal thing. And being on a beach that has palm trees while it snows, honestly, I'd probably have to ask my friend that I was with, because I'd probably be there with somebody. I would have to be there. If I was there with somebody, I probably would have to ask, am I high or is it snowing? Am I like hallucinating or is it actually snowing? Because I would assume that I would be hallucinating before I would assume that it was snowing. Exactly. Get out of my beach, snow. Yes, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. So let's see here. Yeah, and where? Am I high or is it snowing? No, seriously, I've actually and the reason why I know that I would ask this question is because I've asked a similar question while I was at the beach once. I was sitting on the beach, looking out over the Pacific at Kalaloch, over on Washington's coast, and we were just stoned. I mean, it wasn't like we were tripping or anything. And when I'm stoned, I don't hallucinate. But anyway, so I'm watching the ocean and it's green, man. I mean, like, it's neon green. It is glowing green. And so finally I had to turn to my friend and I was like, is the water glowing green, man? Or am I just high? And he was like, oh no, it's the phosphorescence, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I've actually asked that. It's like, is this real or am I high? I've asked that question before. Yeah, for sure. I know, right, Darlene? Even though you live like near plenty beaches, they're Lake Superior type beaches and Great Lake beaches, and those beaches probably get plenty snow, but still, it just seems weird to be on a beach with snow. Hey, Thomas the Turtle, good to see you. We are talking about snowy beaches right now, but before that, we were talking about hot sauce, and before that, we were talking about hot dish. And we were talking about a bunch of stuff in between, but I'm not going to fill you in because I don't remember. And we're not talking about it anymore. But right now we're talking about snow in places it shouldn't be, like San Diego. For real, dude. Yeah, exactly. Did somebody spike my weed? It's just like, what just happened here, right? Shenpa. I mean, I live in South France. It's snowing like one time every 8 years on the beach, but we do have mountains close. Well, yeah, exactly. France, I mean, there's the Italian Riviera and the Italian Alps, and I don't really know what the mountains are in France, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, you guys have mountainous regions and obviously the beachfront regions. But, on the beach, what? What? Let's see here. Yeah, Kenny from the Cove. Precisely. You imagine the folks in Port Aransas and Corpus Christi were really tripping last year when they got all that ice and snow. As well they should have been. They should have been looking at each other and saying, am I high? Or is it snowing at the beach? Basically, I mean, because, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's called bioluminescence. Yeah, but I didn't realize the school that I went to had a beach, and there was plenty of bioluminescence in the water. I had just never seen it in the ocean, on the breaking waves so far out to shore. Because instead of the white froth of the ocean, the waves breaking, and you've got the line of the white froth, it was green. It was neon green. It was weird. And I wasn't sure if my eyes needed an attitude adjustment or if that was really, the reality that I was sharing with someone. And as it turns out, I was sharing that reality. So, right. And where you've got it, hey, man, is that glowing green, man? And I can only assume, and where that was a reference to a Time Life musical collection. Gall dung it. I cannot remember the Time Life record that it was for. Oh, yes, I can. Hey, man, is that Freedom Rock, man? Yeah, man. We'll turn it up, man. I don't know if you guys remember that commercial, but it was a Time Life album collection commercial from my childhood that that came in, that was constantly on the television. And even though it is probably 40 years after it debuted, I can still quote it really well. That's it. Oh, that's right. LG Suma Vibe, you came in at eggs. We were talking about eggs too. I think eggs is what led to the hot sauce, but no quote me. Gotta watch the rerun to figure out. Gotta watch the rerun to watch how that path got there. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Broken Soul, your mom and daughter flew into Dallas during the freeze. You chose to extend your vacation. Yeah. I felt so bad for the people in Texas last year. I mean, even if their infrastructure for heating hadn't gone down, which that was a whole other nightmare. But let's just say that the heating infrastructure stayed working the whole time. I still would have felt bad for them because houses in Texas are not insulated for snow. People in Texas do not know how to drive in the snow. People in Texas are not prepared with the blankets and the indoor heaters and when you're that far south, you just don't prepare for that type of weather. You don't have the infrastructure. You don't have the equipment. You just don't. Not on hand, you don't. And it was so far out of their norm that I really did feel bad for them. And then with the whole, half of them didn't even have heat because the power lines and that was a bad scene, man. The glow must have been beautiful. It was beautiful. It really was a beautiful neon green break. I just really, really wasn't sure it was reality, at all. So yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Gosh, we've got a lot of folks with little French-oriented backgrounds and histories and connections here. Bear Belly born in Cons. And lots of folks who can speak it. And Shenpu letting us know you live between the mountains and the sea close to Spain. Phenomenal. Oh, excellent. We've got a live action situation. Live from Green Bay Packers studio. We've got a touchdown. And assuming from Darlene's exclamation marks, we've got a Green Bay touchdown, not a Minnesota Vikings touchdown. I don't really know though, because I'm not watching. So there you have it. Yeah, that's right. Freedom Rock, man. Freedom Rock, man. So, okay, 13-0 now, just before the half. There we go. OG Sumo vibe. What? People in Texas not used to the snow? Yep. Nope. Not used to the snow. Just like people in the Bay Area, man. They're not used to 30-degree flipping weather, which apparently you guys had today. And that's not acceptable. That's just way too cold. So, during the storm, you had a Hilton hotel burn down. It caught fire, and all their fire sprinkler lines were frozen solid. Exactly, like I said, you guys just don't have the infrastructure down there, and so you can't. I can't make fun of it because it's you're not. Basically, it's just like when it got to be 118 degrees here in Seattle. Nobody has air conditioners, so it's super sucked for us. Everybody else who's just like in Arizona is just like 118 ain't nothing. You really need to learn how to live. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, but you guys are prepared for that. We're not, And so inverse, Texas not ready for snow, not even close. Yeah, it really, I can't make fun of that. I mean, it's fun to make fun of Texas. It really is. I promise you, it is. But not that time. Not for that. Not for that. I'll make fun of them for their belt buckles. I'll make fun of them for the fact that their anti-littering program or slogan is what they use as fighting words. Because, by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but don't mess with Texas. I mean, doesn't that sound aggressive? Don't mess with Texas. Yeah, it's their litter slogan, dude. Seriously, it's their litter slogan. How not aggressive is that? Like... So, yeah, Texas likes to think that they're all tough, but it's just like, I'm feeling angry, so I'm going to shout my anti-littering slogan at you. That's all they're doing, is shouting their anti-littering slogan at you. Let's see here. Darlene, well, during the summer months, not saying we don't get heat, but not the kind of heat down south. So don't deal well with the extreme heat they deal with. Exactly. Yeah, it's just not, it's just not. It's just not. But, Darlene, I'd be willing to bet that the kind of heat that you get in where you are is way different than the kind of heat they get in, say, New Mexico. And so even though it's not as hot, I wouldn't be surprised if someone from New Mexico who came to visit you during the hot heat would find it unbearable because it's so humid, right? Let's see here. Roland on the ropes came for the cute face redhead, staying for the chit chat. Well, that is excellent because that is what we're all about. We are here chitter chattering in the Chatterbox Crew. Thanks so much for joining us. It is 6:33 though, which means we are 3 minutes past our bedtime. Well, not really bedtime, but you know what I'm talking about. So, let me see if I've got anybody here who we might want to raid. But yeah, I'm going to be wrapping this up because it is a couple minutes after the usual wrap up time. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out and listening to me babble about all the hot dishes and all the hot sauces, etc., etc. I want to see you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaiian time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast for another edition of Chatter with Statter, where we can all hang out and talk about things and stuff like we did today. And then if you can't make it on Wednesday, I would love to invite y'all to Statterbox at the cinema, 6 p.m. West Coast time on the U.S., 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S., and this Saturday we will be playing Moana. That's right. We're going to be doing another movie from the Big D. We're gonna risk it, and I've got it. Yes. So that's how that happens. Okay. So if I can remember how to raid, I'm going to actually attempt to raid today because I always forget to raid, and that's really kind of rude because we really should raid. So I just don't remember how to do the raids, which is why I have it written down. And let's see here. What we've got here for raid options is Mashup Mike. He is a Hawaiian DJ. or we've got Justin and Evelyn, or Destiny Guerra. I don't know how to say her last name the way Andy does. So I'm thinking we could go to mash up Mike, but if somebody else wants to suggest something, then okay, OG Sumo Vibe, the second one. Oh, right. Oh, cool. Yeah, OG. I don't remember what the second one was. Was that Destiny or was that Justin and Evelyn? All right, cool. You're right. Hey, OG, I didn't know you were here. So yeah, we don't need to go to Mike. Let's not do Mike. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to Justin and Evelyn. And I need to figure out. Okay. I think I just did a raid thing. So I'm super stoked that we got so many cool folks hanging out today. I really appreciate all you first time chatters coming in, chatting up, make yourself known, hopping on that conversation. I really, really love it when new folks come in. I love it when everybody gives open arm welcome, and I absolutely hope to see you again. So we're gonna be heading over to Justin and Evelyn, and hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I had a great time tonight. Wait, why won't it? Oh, it won't raid because I didn't press the button. I'm like, why won't it raid? All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, guys.